Right guys, we are now in Sam's Mk3 Focus RS, Revo Stage 2.
Revo Stage 2.
But yeah, it's like, I used to have a Mk3 Focus RS, as you guys all know, so it's familiar territory. It's a bit like, yeah, going back in time a little bit for me, really.
I'm going to be fascinated to see how you find this again. So when was the last time you actually drove?
The last time I drove one of these was about 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah, so my friend, when I reviewed it, the Collins Performance CP2, I think it was. Yeah. So similar power to this.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what you think.
Yeah, a couple of years ago now. Should we roll?
Go for it.
So we've got a short shifter on this, and it does feel very short.
Yep.
God, your clutch feels very eager to come up, doesn't it?
Yep.
Very springy.
Well, and I think that's, having just come out of your Mk2 as well, it's kind of like that. Yours is quite a long travel.
Should we go into sport
mode? Yeah.
It does feel like, you know, I've never been away almost, because I had mine for 2 years. So yeah, it does immediately. The steering feels a lot quicker, like, because it's electrically assisted, isn't it?
Yeah.
So mine's a little bit lazy, a bit older. The car feels a lot tauter, so it feels just a lot tighter.
I'm agreeing.
10 years less of wear, I guess, and it feels, that short shift is so short. It's very noisy. It sounds like it's sucking away in there, doesn't it, up front? But yeah, it's so we're standard suspension, aren't we?
Yeah, we haven't got this module that you were thinking about, which I'm tempted to fit now.
The DSC module, yeah.
DSC.
So the suspension actually is better than I remember it. I remember it being really sort of harsh and jittery, but it's actually not too bad. I think it's probably better than the Mk2, I think.
Do you think?
I think so.
In track mode, it gets almost completely unusable, but it makes it great in the bends. Your car felt more comfortable to me than this.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't know, it might be in the seats, maybe something, I know they look very similar.
Yeah. So this does feel like, because mine does have a tiny spot of lag, and then the torque comes in and it goes. This does feel just very like, you're very light on the throttle, it just wants to kind of...
Yeah, and the gearing's quite long in this as well.
So Sam's had this car, how long have you had this car for now?
5 months now,
5 months.
January, yeah.
And he's never done launch control. I'm not going to do a launch control.
No. You know why? This is literally my dream car, and I'm sort of like, I am my own person, and I like to just enjoy it.
You want to be sympathetic towards it, mechanically.
Towards it.
These are great cars though, they are great cars. I know they get a bit of flack, but you're all right for me to, are you a nervous passenger? Are you okay for me to?
We're going to find out.
Right, so we're second gear. Because of the all-wheel drive, it feels a bit less eventful than the Mk2.
Oh my, you actually
it feels less eventful.
Word.
And it feels like, I think, to get a real true gauge of power, we need to go a bit faster and a bit harder up the revs. But it does feel like a similar kind of pace initially. Yeah. So we're third gear. Yeah, I think yours. Yeah, I think they're kind of the opposite. So mine goes like a slapped cat at the start. Yours feels like takes a little bit of time to wind up, and then at the top of the revs, it pulls stronger.
It's all the top. But yeah, you're right. And I've gone back to back with STs on this, and it's the front wheel drive element I think makes it fun. But
I can feel it veering. It feels like the front end goes a little bit light almost, and it's drifting a little bit, isn't it?
It's not as you know what the front wheels are doing.
Yeah,
100%. And I mean, there's what, 10 years in between them.
This does feel different to my. It does feel different to my Mk3.
So how much power did you get yours up to?
I had the DS Ultima 2 Plus, so mine was probably similar to this, but I didn't have the exhaust hardware or the intercooler.
Right.
I only had the intake basically. But I remember that. So my Mk3 felt a little bit like my Mk2, in that you had a little flat spot and then it kind of went, and it really went in the lower revs. But because I was missing the hardware, again it tailed off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean this does go. Oh, it does go there, yeah. Yeah, it does actually go quite quickly, doesn't it?
Shift.
Yeah. These are, once you've got confidence in these cars.
I've got nowhere near the limit of what this can do.
I mean,
technically it needs to go on track, really.
It does.
That's what it needs.
I will, because I took mine on track twice, and you will, because you can't push the limit of the car on a public road. But on a track, you will appreciate what it is all about.
And I love the little noises and the whooshes.
The intake noise is phenomenal, isn't it?
But it's
bit of heel toe there. But yeah, because obviously JM reviewed this, didn't he? And I can relate to what you were saying about the. See, mine did this veer and steering thing where it just all of a sudden it would want to take you off the road.
Which is weird because this has a quaife diff being the addition.
Yeah.
So I would have thought it'd be more stable.
This feels like a more of a kind of a.
It does move about.
a drifting. It's like kind of drifting around.
Yeah, I have to. You have to be on your toes.
It goes well off the roundabout there. Yeah, the grip is good, isn't it? Sorry to interrupt you there, but we had to do.
Perfect. It's, and I like it. Obviously, picks up at the rear. It's definitely almost kind of rear biased.
Yeah.
It tries.
Have you had it in drift mode?
I've never had it in drift mode. You're welcome to try it in drift mode.
I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll show you just. I'm not going to do anything silly.
Yeah.
But I used to do this in mine. So we're in drift mode now. So if we come out of this junction, we'll see if we can just tease it out a little bit if we come out of here. Whoa, it does. Wow, do you feel that?
It's proper weaved.
Yeah, I know.
It sent it all to the rear, didn't it?
So you felt the rear kick out.
Oh yeah.
But then as we hooked up, the car was like, did you feel it?
It almost feels unnatural, like it's a bit out of your control.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine. It was fine coming out of the junction, but it was when we boosted up in second. It kind of
It's because of the extra power, and that's with some of the aids on, isn't it? Because drift mode still keeps something safe.
We weren't full traction off, but yeah, you feel the back come out though, didn't you? As we come out of there.
It's a fairly magical car. Yeah, how does it compare to your Mark II?
It's totally, they're chalk and cheese, aren't they?
Think,
they're chalk and cheese. This probably does feel like, in the way it drives, like a more modern version. It does make you feel good, doesn't it? When you are nailing this around.
And that's something I disagreed in JM's review. He said he didn't feel special enough for the weekend. I kind of disagree because I don't get in the car, and to be fair, the looks and the colour help for it.
But I mean, the theatre and the noise and stuff you get with it, and it is quite.
It's loud as well.
It's not like mega smooth and its power delivery, is it? It's quite, it's quite brutal.
Well,
and
that was the thing. I would say this probably has slightly too much power because of the way, like you kind of veered. With yours, I think you've got a great balance.
Yeah.
It's not too crazy. I love the linearity. Yeah, getting my motoring journalism words here. Linearity of the throttle. Basically, on my drive back home, I'm going to be thinking about your car a lot.
I think if I had to choose between mine and this is probably a good way to summarise this video.
Your last ever drive, you got two next to them. Which one do you go for?
If I had to choose which one to keep for the rest of my life, purely as a car to take out and enjoy, I would take the Mark II. It's always been like a dream for me, and it just feels like, I don't know, because it was that era where it came out and I was like, oh my god, I've got to have that car, and I couldn't at the time never have it. And then I did buy one of these when these came out as almost like a substitution for the Mark II. And as much as I loved the car when I had it, going from mine to the Mark II, it was like, oh, finally I'm in the car.
So you felt like you were at home.
Yeah, no, I don't know, that car for me is just like is it the epitome? Is that the word I'm looking for? Like the pinnacle of kind of hot hatch, like with the styling, the sound, the engine and everything. And even though it's not the most capable thing, it's just something about it. So yeah, I picked the Mark II as the overall special car. If I was talking about a daily driver, obviously I'd pick this. And
you're making me think now, because I could potentially obviously get rid of the Golf and just have this.
You could, yeah. This is a perfect. It's a fine day, absolutely fine as a daily driver, isn't it?
Other than the turn itself.
You've got 5 doors, you've got boot, and it does make you feel a bit special at the same time. Whereas my Cupra, it's an amazing daily, it's rapid, but you don't really get that. Doesn't really make you feel special, Whereas this still does. Ideally, I'd have both. I'd have the Mark II and I'd daily one of these, but my finances can't quite stretch to that. yeah, no mate, it's been good to get in the car. It's been good to have another go in one of these. It's been a long while since I've driven one, so it's been really interesting. And to drive them both kind of back to back as well, yeah, it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome.
So anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for Sam. Go check his channel out. I'll put a link in the description below.
Thank you so much.
But until the next one, as always, take care, and I shall see you soon.